What's up guys, it's Mitch here from the DIYRecordingStudio.com, and today I'm going to be doing an unboxing of some new gear that I've bought for my studio, specifically the Behringer patchbay that I just bought, and I'm going to show you the whole series of upgrades I'm about to build for this studio right now today, and we're going to basically be changing the whole sort of setup within this studio. So welcome back to the channel. I've got a whole heap of new gear I've recently been building. I've been building a heap of new preamps, some EQs, and they're all these 500 series DIY kits. So you haven't seen them, I'll put some links down below, but definitely go check those out if you're interested in building your own mic preamps or potentially looking at investing in the 500 series sort of style equipment. That gear can be a very, very cool upgrade for any home studio setup. I recently purchased a heap of gear from soundsculptor.com. They're a French company. They make these DIY kits. They do faithful recreations of the Neve 1073 preamps and EQs, and I got 2 of those each, and you can actually see them sitting behind me right here. If you have a look there, that's my new 500 series rack, and in that, let's just zoom in a bit. And in that we have 2 Neve 1073 style preamps, 1 EQ, I've still got to build the second one, it was a bit of effort doing those, and I've got a tube style preamp as well that's based on the LA610 style tube pre. So basically by building this gear, I now have new mic preamps that I can use when I'm recording drums or guitars or vocals particularly. And I can also use those outside the box, outside of the DAW, so I can go out of my DAW into these preamps and EQs to add color and sound, and obviously the better sounding EQ of a real vintage analog EQ with like the Neve one that I have behind me. But then that also comes with a whole set of other issues, and those issues are basically patching. So every time I want to go into that 500 series rack, I have to patch in my mic leads. And every time I want to come out of the DAW into those, I then have to reconfigure all the patching in the back of that. And it's a fair bit of effort, and it's also, you know, not the best workflow, and it just kind of looks a bit untidy at the moment. I'm not digging the setup. Like behind me, I've got my usual, if you have a look, I've got my usual interface set up just there in the middle, which is nice and neat, but then the rest of my gear's all scattered over the desk, and it's not the best kind of workflow really, so I want to change that. So today, basically what I'm going to do is build a new shelf behind me, and it's going to house all 3 stations of racks. It'll have a space for that new 500 series rack. It'll still have the existing space of the interface section in the middle there, and then I'll also have another space on the left for the new patch bay that I just built. So I'm going to be building that. I'm going to have to tear down all this equipment behind me and basically start from the ground up again. It's going to be crazy. And I'm also going to have to, you can see here, these are the ends of my mic inputs, and I'm going to be keeping them XLR obviously at the microphone end, but they're going to be turned into balanced TRS cables. I'm going to be snipping all those off and putting TRS ends on them so they can go into my TRS patch bay as well. So yeah. So there's a fair bit of work that I'm going to have to do today, but I'll show it all in the build. It's going to be great. But let's get first to the unboxing of the new patch bay. Yeah, so I got this new patch bay. It's a Behringer patch bay. Let's give it a look. And I bought it from a company called Canon Sound and Light. They have the best deal going on eBay. Interesting packaging. It's only a patch bay. It's not going to get wrecked or anything, but you know, could probably be boxed up better. Let's chuck that. Cool. So here it is. It's the Ultrapatch Pro. It's a 48 channel patch bay, 2x24 I should say. And I mean, there's not much to it. It can basically be normal to half normal depending on how you switch the modules inside, but I mean, it's just basically TRS patch bay. But let's take it out and have a look. Classic Behringer instruction manual. And cool. So there's the front plate there. Get a bit closer. And then on the back, it kind of just mirrors the front. But the most interesting part is these top switches. So one of the old Behringer units used to actually, you'd have to take out these modules and flip them, and you'd have to flip them around and decide whether they were going to be normaled or half normaled. And that just basically means that if you plug something into both the in and out, whether it's turned off or not, whether the signal gets cut off or not, because then you can basically mult or like take two signals out of something. But yeah, so this one is basically, it has the switches on top. They have normal and half normaled and through, so you can actually make it so the signal just passes through as well, which is great. So each of these are independent, so you can basically just set up each one of the patches exactly how you need it, without taking the patch bay apart or reconfiguring everything. So it's pretty great actually. Like, Behringer sometimes get things right, and I think that's a pretty great solution because it gives you a bit of flexibility in how you want to set up your patch bay. But yeah, cool. So great product. They're about 130 bucks Australian, brand new. So, you know, you kind of can't go wrong at that price point. And I think as I build up the gear that I have in the studio, I might end up needing another one of these. 48 channels sounds like a lot, but really it kind of isn't. Like, if you consider that each mic preamp, your interface, an 8-channel interface has 8 ins and 8 outs, that's 16 channels just there. So, you know, pretty quickly you can use up those 48 channels. So I'll probably be needing another one of these pretty soon. But yeah, so basically that's it for the unboxing. Pretty simple stuff. Now we might get into the teardown and building the shelf and getting this whole new setup ready to rock and roll. All right, let's get into it. Oh, and if you haven't already, please hit like and subscribe to my channel for all the crazy content that we've got coming up. I've got more builds, more DIY solutions, and if you've got any questions on anything that I'm doing, make sure you hit me up in those comment sections down below.